Ayy, look, yeah, ayy. I'm in the lab like Dexter, brand new batch he tested. I'm with all the extras, don't try and bitch, I'm pressure. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers.
To this NFL news before we wrap up this entire episode. We have the Baltimore Ravens signing wide receiver Odell Beckham to a 1-year deal that's worth up to $18 million. The details about this deal are, $13.8 million is a signing bonus, 1.1 in million, 1.1 million in base salary, and then he has $3 million in reachable incentives. And so, with that being said, it's kind of the question that I pose to you guys is, how, did obviously one being did the Ravens overpay, and two, how do we feel about this? How do we feel about the Ravens overpaying for a guy like Odell Beckham?
I feel like this is their like last ditch attempt at trying to like convince Lamar Jackson like, hey, like, we're attempting to actually just pay for a wide receiver and that we're actually committed to you. But I think Odell came out and said he has no assurances about Lamar Jackson's status. So that's a bit discouraging to think about. I feel like this was their last ditch attempt at like trying to save their relationship with Lamar Jackson and trying to mend between them. But in reality, I feel like this is a move that's too late. If they had done this at the beginning of the season, if they were attempting to get a wide receiver, they would have been done this. But now this is just a Hail Mary to try to get Lamar Jackson to stay. But this doesn't move the needle. I do think they overpaid for a guy who has been out of playing football for a while. There are rumors when he went to work out with Dallas that he didn't look particularly good, and I don't know his status as a footballer now, being out of football for that long. Of course, he's been training and whatnot, but I don't know how he'll look when he comes back. But this is just a Hail Mary. If they really wanted to make moves, they would have gotten someone like DeAndre Hopkins. Somehow they would have gotten him, and that would have been like a statement for them. But to get signed like Odell Beckham, who's no longer like an elite wide receiver, to try to basically, it seems like, save the relationship with Lamar Jackson, just doesn't work in my opinion. This.
Yeah, I mean, for OBJ, I mean, salute to his agent for him to get 13 mil guaranteed, a guaranteed contract with him, like basically the torn ACL, hasn't played in a year. For him to get this money and have a team to bite, that's great for him. But as far as the aspect for the Ravens, they're just basically saying, "Hey, Lamar, we're trying." And if I'm Lamar, I'm looking at this, and I'm obviously like he doesn't have an agent. Him and his mom are looking over at this, like, yeah, forget about it. Like, we're not signing with you guys. This is cute. This is a nice little. Hey, I'm reaching over. I'm trying to win her back, but we're not budging. We're not budging. Lamar, go somewhere else. You deserve better. This is a disgusting latch pitch effort to get you back. So if I was him, I wouldn't budge.
I mean, yeah, I feel like they overpaid him a little bit too much. I think what the base contract was, what, 15 million, with like 3 million incentives due throughout the season. 15 mil is a lot for a guy that been hurt, ACL injury, year in year out the last 2 years, and for them, I feel like, hey, they're thinking about, hey, if we get this guy here and bring him to Lamar, Lamar's gonna stay, take a pay cut for us. Nah, if I'm Lamar, I want my coins. I want my 200 mil. Y'all did me dirty the last couple of years. Y'all did me dirty this year with the BS that they're pulling, with all the media stuff that they're pulling, with the little franchise tag thing they did, saying, hey, if anybody wants to sign him, here you go, 2 picks and whatever y'all want to do with the money, pay him that guaranteed money. And you've seen 8 teams came out in 15 minutes saying, nope, we don't want that. So that put him at a pedestal where he's stuck at, hey, what the hell am I supposed to do? So all the things, all the grimy things Baltimore's doing to him, and they're trying to fix it up with a guy that's coming off an ACL injury that hasn't played in I don't know how long. It doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit right with me. Lamar is boys with OBJ. He's probably happy about it, but for me, for him, I'm still sitting out. I want my coins. I want my 200 mil. I don't care what type of receiver you're bringing along. The way they've been doing him dirty, he got to get paid regardless of the situation. So, hey, it's good for him if he does come back. They pay him 200 million. He has OBJ right there on the side, but if it's not guaranteed money, mostly guaranteed money, I'm not coming back at all.
I like this contract for the Baltimore Ravens. I feel like, although Odell Beckham Jr. isn't the wide receiver that you were probably hoping for, but at the end of the day, it's like you're not necessarily bringing OBJ into the fold on a long-term deal. This is a 1-year deal, $15 million worth up to $18 million with incentives. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, he's not on the roster next year. So it's just like, it's a last ditch effort to bring back a guy like Lamar Jackson onto this team. And I feel like even if it doesn't go in their favor, this is something that they can get out of extremely easily. Like Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't have to be a Baltimore Raven next year after this upcoming season. Like it's just one and done. It's Odell wanted to play somewhere where he can flourish and stuff like that. And he gave the Jets an opportunity to match. He gave the Jets an opportunity to match this deal, and the Jets were like, nope, we're not matching it. And I respect the Jets for that, simply because they have the playmakers. What does Odell Beckham Jr. look like on the New York Jets? With Aaron Rodgers and all those weapons that they got. Like, is he gonna be the wide receiver one? Is he gonna be the wide receiver two to Garrett Wilson? Like is Odell willing to take on that role as a potential wide receiver to Garrett Wilson? So it's just like, Odell just took the best situation for him, where the situation is pretty simple. We all know the wide receiver room in Baltimore is terrible. Rashad Bateman's leading the way over there, and he's a young stud that got injured last year who'll be coming back this year. And then Odell Beckham Jr., he slots in really well. So I think this is a great deal for the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, you can get out of this deal really quickly after this upcoming season. And for Odell Beckham Jr., it's a good 1 year prove it deal to the rest of the league, where I'm still Odell Beckham Jr. I can dominate this league just like I did when I first got into it. So for Lamar Jackson, you're looking at it like, well, if I decide to come back to the Baltimore Ravens, I do got some nice weapons. I have Odell Beckham Jr. on one side. I have Rashad Bateman on the other. I have my old reliable Mark Andrews as my tight end. And then, of course, we all know how elite that running game is and how elite that running game has always been. So it's just a last ditch effort. But overall, I'm a big fan of this move. Honestly, I feel like this can honestly work in the Baltimore Ravens' favor if all things work out with Lamar Jackson.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now H, now that's overkill.